أما الحق الثاني فهو قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إذا دعاك فأجبه، إذا لقيته فسلم عليه، وإذا دعاك فأجبه. الدعوة تنقسم إلى 3 أقسام: دعوة واجبة، ودعوة مستحبة، ودعوة محرمة. دعوة واجبة، ودعوة مستحبة، ودعوة واجبة. الدعوة إلى وليمة العرس واجبة، لقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إذا دعي أحدكم إلى عرس فليجب، أي إلى وليمة العرس، بشرط أن تكون هذه الوليمة خالية من المنكرات. خالية من المنكرات يعني ما فيها موسيقى، ما فيها تبرج، ما فيها خمور، ما فيها شيء حرمه الله عز وجل. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يلبي دعوة أصحابه رضي الله عنهم أجمعين. والوليمة الأصل فيها يا إخوة أن يدعى إليها الفقراء الأغنياء، أن يدعى إليها الفقراء قبل الأغنياء. ولكن سبحان الله قلب الناس هذه السنة وهذا الأصل وغيروه وبدلوه، وأصبح يدعى إلى وليمة العرس علية القوم، كبار الشخصيات، أصحاب الحسب والنسب، اللي عنده تجارة، الذي يملك الملايين هو الذي يدعى الآن، يرسل له كرب. أما الفقير لا يلتفت إليه أحد. والأصل في الوليمة كما قلت أن يدعى إليها الفقراء قبل الأغنياء. وأيضا إذا الغني دعاه الفقير لا يجيب، يا شو بدنا منه، يا إنسان أحد بيعرفه. لا، يجب عليك أن تجيب إن كنت تريد محبة الله، إن كنت تريد أن تدخل الفرح والطمأنينة على قلب أخيك، ينبغي عليك أن تلبي هذه الدعوة. ينبغي عليك أنت لست أفضل من النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يلبي، حتى قال: لو دعيت إلى قراع أو ذراع لأجبت. ليس المهم ما الذي يقدم في الوليمة، لأن بعض الناس يسأل: ماذا سيقدم فلان؟ هل سيضع المناسف؟ هل سيفعل كذا؟ هل سيفعل؟ لا، حتى لو كان شيء بسيط يجب عليك أن تلبي وأن تقوم بحق أخيك المسلم. فالدعوة إلى الوليمة واجبة. والدعوة المحرمة أن يدعوك شخص إلى مكان فيه محرمات، إلى مكان فيه أغاني، فيه تعري، فيه نساء، فيه اختلاط. فهنا يجب أو يحرم عليك أن تلبي هذه الدعوة. يحرم عليك أن تلبي هذه الدعوة، وإذا فعلت فأنت آثم، تكون آثما. انتبهوا يا إخوة، كثير اليوم من الأعراس يوجد فيها اختلاط بين الرجال والنساء، وفيها تعري وفيها موسيقى. وللأسف أنه بعض الناس يريدون إرضاء الجميع. شو بيقولوا؟ أول ساعة هنحط الأكل، وبس يطلعوا أصحاب اللحى واللي بيصلوا يلا نحط الموسيقى ويبدأ التعري والاختلاط بين الناس. نسأل الله السلامة والعافية.
The Sheikh is mentioning now the second right that is mandatory upon every single Muslim towards his brothers and sisters. And that is, if he is invited, you respond. If a brother invites you, you must respond. He said this is categorized in 3 categories. Number 1, mandatory. The invitation that results it being wajib, which is mandatory. That means you have to respond. Number 2, that invitation which is prohibited, haram, that you are not allowed to respond. And number 3, the invitation that is recommended. It's optional, but highly encouraged and advised. Now he mentioned the first category, which is mandatory. And he mentioned that if your brother invites you, one example of it being mandatory is when your brother invites you to a wedding, a walima. As long as the walima is free from any haram, you must respond to it. It's not a matter of choice. You have to respond if your brother invites you to a wedding or a walima, if it is free from all forms of haram. Now he mentioned here that the majority of people, what they usually do is they invite the rich or the supposed eloquent or classical individuals, or they invite those who are of high status, and they forget about the poor. Now this is absolutely prohibited in Islam. If you are the inviter, always invite the poor. And the narration says, invite the poor before the rich. Don't go out there and look at your notebook or your phone book and see who's the richest, who's the most important, which doctor. The doctors first, and then in this room we'll get the poor, or the sort of low profile individuals. This is un-Islamic. It's actually haram to do this. No, Islam loves equality. Islam loves justice and fairness. Always, as the narration mentions, when you are the inviter, always look at those who are less important, those who are poor individuals. They are more in need to be invited to because they are less fortunate individuals. Likewise, he mentions that if a poor individual is inviting you to a walima, the poor individual, the one that is not known to people, he's marrying his daughter off or his son off, and he invites you, you say, no, I don't want to go to this person. He's poor. No one will know if I went there or did not go there, and all he will have these poor individuals. This is haram. This is haram. You are not allowed to do this. In fact, you should go before anyone else to the one who's inviting you if he is poor. So be very, very careful. Are we better, as the Sheikh mentioned, than the greatest man that existed, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who responded to every invitation, whether he is rich, middle class, or poor? In fact, he will invite the poor and respond to the poor before anyone else. And this is what we need to do. And we need to do this seriously, with sincere hearts, so we can show them that they are part of the community that are loved. And then he mentioned the second category, which is the prohibited response. So if your brother invites you to a walima, for example, or to any other place other than the walima, you are not allowed if it involves haram. Look, how many walimas or weddings that the Sheikh said today involves nothing but haram? And I'm pretty sure all of you will vouch for this. The majority out there today, the walimas, illa man rahim rabbak, except those who Allah has mercy on, their weddings or their parties or their walimas are built on no other than that which Allah does not like. It could be music. It could be nudity, which is the lady unveiled. It could be free mixing, major intermingling, to the extent where they dance together, talk to one another. They even have haram drinks on those tables. And they're Muslims. Like alcohol, and maybe even swine to eat. They don't care. And they still invite you. If you are invited to any such devilish place, you are not allowed to go, especially if it's your family. You know, a lot of times we say, oh, we don't want to say our father, our mother, our uncle, our auntie, our brother, our sister. We don't want to say our this or that because of our social pressure. But in fact, you must immediately respond with al-amru bil-ma'ruf wa-nahy 'anil munkar. And the Shaykh said this very clearly, that it is important that you do not fall to social pressure. Because what is halal is halal, and what is haram is haram. Do not respond to your supposed relative or cousin or your best friend because, oh, he's going to be sad or upset with me. Oh, no. So be very, very careful. If it's prohibited, it's prohibited. There is no obedience to the creation if it means disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.